Home buyers looking at Mount Pleasant's build-to-order project will have the option of having units without partition walls. This is also known as a white flat layout. Now, it gives owners more flexibility to customize their homes. It's the second BTO project to offer this option. The entire project will add another 1,000 new units, up from the previous 5,000. The first launch is in October. Now,
once home to the old police academy, Mount Pleasant will soon see about 6,000 new homes built across 4 projects. Mount Pleasant Crest is the first. There'll be about 1,350 units of 2-room flexi to 4-room flats. There'll also be 270 public rental units. Smack in the center of the entire project is the upcoming MRT station, which will be added to the Thomson East Coast Line. Residents will also be able to enjoy amenities at the nearby Toa Payoh Integrated Development, expected to be completed by 2030. The green spaces and recreational activities at McRitchie Reservoir are also just a stone's throw away.
This will provide more housing options for Singaporeans and better support young families who wish to live near their parents for mutual care and support. The estate's design will pay tribute to its rich heritage. Significant structures from the academy will be thoughtfully incorporated into the estate.
These include the former parade square, which will be repurposed as a community space. Parts of the old drill shed, which witnessed many a boxing bouts, will be incorporated into a new pavilion. A road will be named in tribute to the area's heritage, and swimming starter blocks turned into seats for community use. These are touches much appreciated by many police officers, some of whom call the place a second home.
There are 6 blocks to be conserved, especially Block 1, which is the main block whereby most of us take our graduation photograph in front of the block. And the most important block because they are going to be a future, something related to police history that be put inside there.
The white flat option gives buyers more flexibility in designing their desired homes. The first such project, Crawford Heights in Kallang Guampo area, launched last October, drew around 4 in 10 buyers.
Well, we have more now, and I'm joined by Dr. Lee Nai Jia, Head of Real Estate Intelligence at the PropertyGuru Group. Welcome to you to the show. I first want to ask you, Mount Pleasant Crest, that's a prime central location. So when we talk about the expected BTO prices, what kind of range are we looking at? And is it going to be targeting first-time buyers or perhaps those on the higher end?
Yeah, so if we look at the prices, right, using the past BTO launches as a guide, the Toa Payoh, the 4-room types should go around, around 500, 600,000 to 800,000 dollars. And then if you look at the cheaper versions, which are the 3-room, it should be ranging around 400 to 500,000. So I think in terms of pricing, right, it's probably catered to slightly higher income type of households, probably in the mid-high, I would say, rather than the low income, because going up to that level is still a bit of stretch. Of course, there are also the Flexi 2R units there, which are quite suitable for the senior singles or those elderly households.
So I guess we're looking at the prime end of things rather than the plus classification.
Yes, definitely. If we look at this area, right, it's really at the prime area. It's facing, some of the good class bungalows. So definitely this is a very prime real estate in Singapore. And if you look at in terms of pricing, the Payoh HDB flats are one of the most sought after, and in terms of pricing, it's also one of the highest in Singapore. So based on last BTO, we see that it's already assigned a prime status. So we expect the same for this upcoming launch.
Yeah, so that means demand could also be substantially strong because it's such a centrally located flat. Won't the competition ratios then be quite sky high as well, and perhaps there'll be quite a few disappointed applicants?
Well, definitely, people will be, find the location very appealing, and of course, the attributes are there. It's near to MRT station, but we must not forget that there are also kind of a fair bit of restrictions. For instance, the 10-year minimum occupation period. We also have possibly the clawback of subsidies, and the income ceiling is still going to be there. So these are certain factors that may, dissuade some of the buyers who are thinking about upgrading in the next 5 years. So they probably have to think very long term.
Yeah, that's a good point that you raised. But analysts also suggest that these flats in particular can command a high premium in the resale market, down the road sometime, given the location. So, do you think that people might treat Mount Pleasant Crest as more like an investment prospect rather than somewhere they'd call home?
Yeah, so there will be definitely some buyers or property seekers that hope to, buy into this property and hopefully, for investment purpose. But because of the 10-year period, and we've seen in past homes, right, or home buyers that purchase and stay there for 10 years, they tend to stay in the place and age in the place. So the thing is that because of the subsidy clawback also, that also kind of restrict the kind of investment gains. Because that will also make it more affordable for future home buyers. So while we look at the home prices today, in the resale home prices, definitely they are above 1 million for the 4-room flats there.
Yeah.
But in the future, we don't see that going up as fast as in some other parts of the country.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about the concept of white flats, right? So it sounds very trendy, but, could it actually just really be shifting the renovation costs and the planning costs to the buyer? Moreover, the resale buyers of these flats could potentially maybe like the conventional layout better.
Yeah, so that is actually a very interesting question because in the past, in 2013, we do see some of the executive condominium that took up some flexibility. It's a bit like the current white flats concept. And we do not see that, it leads to significant take up or there's a significant premium. And the reason is like what you say, it may not fit into all the different preferences. But I think this feature is actually very important moving forward because, we have an aging population and people are getting married later. Sometimes they may not decide to have kids now. They may want to have kids later. So that gives them the added flexibility. But you are right in terms of the renovation costs. The higher renovation cost may come in place and sometimes property buyers or those applicants have to think about, whether that additional cost is worthwhile or not.
Oh, well, thank you for giving us that very good summary of what to expect. I've been speaking with Dr. Lee Nai Jia, Head of Real Estate Intelligence at PropertyGuru Group. Thank you very much.